Welcome to Guelph Fight Wrestler. I'm Andrew Sennedra, and this is the Hairy Fruit Loop Captain with Fingers. And this video is sponsored by Zlata S Arts, who did the design on our shirt of this guy's face. So if you're interested in his face and his catchphrase, darn it, go over to our Teespring. So now we're going to be talking about the G1 Climax 34 predictions. This is going to be probably just as hard, if not harder, than predicting our best of the Super Juniors. It's really cool setup they had. They had an eliminator little mini tournament on there, which was really good. That had tons of guys. And Caleb Newman won of that qualifier tournament for the A block, and Bolton Oleg surprised me big time with his upsets over Toriyano. Well, maybe it's not so much of an upset, but his upset over Tanahashi for sure, really putting Bolton Oleg over, so he's over in the B block. And we're going to be making our predictions. I'm going to show you a picture of A block, and we're going to talk about the three. There's going to be three top guys, so the number one guy gets a bye. And ultimately, 2 and 3 face each other to go on to face number 1, obviously. And then, obviously, Block 1 winner, Block B winner go at it for the crown of the G1 Climax 34. So here's Block A. So pretty stacked block. We got what, like 3-4 former champions. We got other champions in there as well. We got Jake Lee from Pro Wrestling Noah coming over. But let's see, I'm going to go with, one of my picks is going to be Shota Umino. I know he had a bit of a hip fracture injury, but I'm still picking Shota Umino because he's got a ton of momentum. I feel like he's going to be a guy that New Japan wants to push in the future to be like kind of the next Tanahashi or Okada.
Yeah, I also have Umino picked, but I wasn't sure. At first I didn't have him picked, but then like he had that injury that I'm like, oh, is he going to, how severe is it?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think they're gonna try to push the young blood, so I'm like, alright.
The young bloods.
Give him the hat.
So we both got Shota Umino there. Then I got, out of that block, I got Tatsuya Naito, the champ, as the guy right now. It's always hard to predict where they might be. Sonata, had an okay G1 Climax being the champ last year, but I feel like Naito's still got a lot of momentum, and he just won the belt, so I still feel like he's gonna have a good tournament and kind of go far and be one of the final 3 of the A block.
Yeah, I also have Naito. I think he's a safe pick. He's a champ. He just got he won the belt from Mox recently. Yeah. So I think he's a safe pick to.
Yeah, my last pick is Zack Sabre Jr. I think he's done a lot, and I think he would be a really good guy to have up there in the final 3. I'm not sure, though, if he'll win it all, though. That was a tough call.
No, it's interesting. I had Zack Sabre, but I had to delete him. And I have Evil, this guy, he's always cheating, who can beat him? He's got like 10 goons jumping you, you can't win, right?
Well, that's what I thought too. I was like, could it be Evil? He's like one of the only, like the only heels in the block, so yeah. I wasn't sure, and he does cheat his way, so I was like, I have no idea. That one was tricky, especially like with Shingo in there. He was a former champ. He's done really well. Could he be one? Sonata's a former champ. He's there. I didn't really think Gabe Kidd or Great O'Khan might go far. But now we're moving on to the B block. So let's take a look. I'll pop that up here for you guys to check out. So this was another tough block. Maybe not as tough as A block to pick, especially for me since I got some of my guys on this side. My first pick out of the B block is Yota Tsuji. Yeah, he's gonna be my guy. So I always have to pick him. He's got a lot of momentum. He's been doing a lot of different stuff. His first match back off Excursion was challenging Sonata for the belt last year, and then he's won the New Japan Cup this year already. And it just, a lot of things seem to be coming full circle, especially with Naito on the other side being the champ. Yota Tsuji being on the other block kind of makes for a finals.
Yeah, I also have him. I think.
Oh, I see. You fucking hoser.
They seem to be pushing. I don't think he's gonna win it all, but I think he's gonna do well, and I think he's gonna be like one of the
Win!
I mean, one of the finalists. You know, I love his Mount Fuji dive. You know, that's hilarious.
Mount Suji, the human sausage. Yeah, he's got some really good moves. Well, he's got quite a big repertoire. That's what I like about him. And he's got that cool, creepy persona with that grin. He's got a grin like that guy's. My next pick is kind of a pick based on storyline circumstances for me. Is Yuya Uemura. I know he might be a guy they're kind of pushing. He kind of feels like a star as in Katsuyori Shibata, whereas Umino is kind of like Tanahashi. So those two came up together, and I feel like Umino and Uemura are kind of coming, and they have those personalities of Tanahashi and Shibata years ago. So I kind of feel like he might be a guy, at least here, just to come to the final three. So, and that storyline plays with Tsuji. So that's kind of what I was feeling this one out.
Okay, so I got like two dark horses. So my next one is David Finlay. Like, he's not quite done the things I thought he would do. Like, he's like, you know, you expect him to do better, win tournaments and stuff. But he's like kind of like falling off or gotten hurt.
Yeah.
But I think maybe like this might be his time to shine. He's gonna push to the top and, you know, lead the Bullet Club. Like, I like his like aura of like the bringing the badassery and the new Bullet Club, you know, they're all mean, they're all tough kind of thing. I want him to win.
And he's not even the meanest though. Like, Gabe Kidd seems way more mean, angry, and tough. Same with Drilla Maloney. He's like, so, but yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you on those your thoughts there. Definitely, Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors have had the most success out of those five guys.
And they got a cheer guy, all the cheers.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while since the dog pound, cage match. My next pick is Jeff Kabu. I'm thinking this could be a storyline based on the United Empire a little bit. You know, him moving up in the pecking order there because he'll make the finals, 3 of the B block here. So that's why I picked him. And he's always had good G1 climaxes, but they never really gave him that, push. So I feel like this might be a chance to kind of push him a little bit by putting him in the final 3 for the B block.
Yeah, that's tricky. There's like a bunch of United Empires in the tournament. I'm like, which one?
But yeah.
Ultimately, I didn't end up picking any.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah, my next one's also like dark horse of AEW. Takeshita, man. He's part of Don Callis' family, you know? He's got that old man tutoring him. Won't let him down, you know?
Bald fucker.
He's gonna come in, he's gonna screwdrivers, he's gonna stab people.
Yeah, I was a bit torn on Takeshita too, because I thought he's an outsider. He's Japanese, so he's not.
Yeah, he's Japanese.
He's not international, but I kind of thought maybe he'd make the final 3 because. Obviously, I don't have him, you do, so that's all right. But, he could make it because AEW, the connection, at least put him in the final 3. I think he'll have probably a pretty good G1 climax.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, Tsuji versus Takeshita, though.
That'd be a good one.
That's gonna be, and I was wanting that, months and months ago, something like that to happen. A couple other guys I was torn on were like Hanare, because he's got a lot of momentum. He just had 2 wars with Shingo and won the never open weight title. So I was kind of on the fence, but I was like, I think he'll have a good G1. I think he'll level up from what he did last year and kind of progress each year in the G1s. I think will be that, but not quite this year. And Ren Narita, I was kind of thinking as, Evil's almost apprentice on the other side. I was on the fence, wondering about him, climbing up in there. So there was a couple of guys I was kind of thinking this G1 climax, they might not be in the final 3, but ultimately these will be good showcases for them.
Yeah, for sure. I always loved him though, he's always cheating as well with Evil,
I thought you didn't like Ren Narita when you first told me.
At first I didn't, but they still grew on me, the way they cheat, they don't cheat like poking the eye, they overdo it, it's hilarious.
They overdo. Yeah, he's got that, he's kind of getting that evil grin and that aura of show.
Yeah.
He's like got this look on his face, you stupid fucking Ren Narita. Anyways, so those are our finals on each block. So ultimately, who's gonna win from your A and B block?
So I got Evil, and David Finlay. So I think they maybe do like a cool like Bullet Club story.
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's
okay,
like, you know, you got House of Torture versus, you know, the new leader kind of thing. They kind of collide. Maybe they fight for the top leader spot or whatever.
Yeah, it makes sense too. Like, there's a lot of storylines that could make sense. Like, how many did I mention in here between LIJ and United Empire, and like you just said, House of Torture and Bullet Club, like Yu Uemura and Yoda Tsuji. We got tons of storylines going right here.
He lost his hair for the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. So I got Tetsuya Naito versus Yoda Tsuji. So I have a storyline, the fighting for LIJ's top spot. You know, so that's who I got from the A and B block. So who do you got ultimately winning the entire G1 Climax 34?
I got David Finlay. He's gonna reclaim the leader of Bullet Club, and he's gonna, you know, dominate.
You keep picking Finlay all the time. It does seem to be.
This is the time, David Finlay.
I keep picking Yoda Tsuji, and it worked for the New Japan Cup, and hopefully it will work for the G1 Climax of picking Yoda Tsuji, and there will be disharmony in LIJ, and he will take the reins as Naito sort of maybe falls out of the picture as he's aging, and maybe passing the torch over to Yoda Tsuji, you know, and winning the title. Since they already fought for the title once and he lost, so this could be the opportunity that he fights for the title and wins at Wrestle Kingdom ultimately. So many different storylines, a lot of cool wrestlers. I'm really looking forward to this. So much stuff could really go down, and lots of interesting characters in there, like Newman and Bolton Oleg sliding in, you know, two international young bloods coming in.
Yeah, I'm also really curious to see how Takeshita does, because like you said, this is his first tournament, and he's an outsider in AEW, but they do have the branding. Yeah. So I think he will do well, but I'm curious to see.
Yeah, like that's what I felt about Jake Lee from Pro Wrestling Noah's. Like, I think he'll do well because Hayata actually did pretty well in Best of Super Juniors, even though like Dragon Dia, you know, got whooped. He only had one, so he had two outsiders, and one ultimately had a pretty solid tournament. So I think Jake Lee will maybe have a solid tournament, but between those two guys from other companies, I feel like Takeshita will maybe have the bigger push.
What I like about the tournament is that, like, even though like Dragon Dia has one win, I feel like he still has good matches to showcase what he can do. Like, I didn't know him. I didn't really look at his record, but I just look at his matches, and he does some like really good things in the ring. So that it's like, you know, I still enjoy it. Yeah, he got a push.
Yeah, they gave him a lot of exposure.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like, kind of like Ninja Mac.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyways, those are our picks for G1 Climax 34. Let us know what you think of our picks, or who you have winning the whole thing ultimately, and put that down in the comments below. Until next, folks, how about some heavy wrestling?